to another episode of Game Time. I'm JP Murrieta, and this week we are with the Charlie's Angels from Roswell High School and head coach Kim Castro. Thanks for joining us this week.
Thank you for having us.
For those who don't know, let's start with the simplest part. Charlie's Angels, where does the name come from?
We started this team 23 years ago. We've been coaching for 23 years. We didn't have a name, and our mascot at that time was called Charlie Coyote. So another person in our school actually put the name to us. We didn't name ourselves, and we just thought, oh, that's kind of a cool thing, and it just stuck, and that's where we're at.
Well,
Charlie's
it's worked for you so
Yes,
far,
it
especially
has.
recently, coming off a national title.
Yes.
Tell us about what the competition was and how you performed.
We actually did really well. You know, we talk about it every year. We love our routine, but you don't know until you get there if it's a hit or miss. You really don't until you put it out there on the floor. But we did really, really well this year. We felt all year like our team was very connected. We were gelling really good. And I had been telling him for weeks leading up to it, I think we can do this. We just got to go execute. And we beat out 100 teams, over 100 teams. We had the top score of the weekend, which was amazing. We weren't expecting that. You know, we're just hoping to do really, really well. And we just did really well. I'm proud of them. I can't say enough about them.
You mentioned the routine and the choreography. Where does it come from year in and year out?
Well, we have choreographers that come in and help us put things together, but they're there for like 2 days. Then when they leave, it's my job to fix everything, change things that we can't do, add things to make it better. We made changes literally a week before we left, just trying to stay on top of the best skills, what would be our best chance to win, you know, putting different skills in. So, and we just work all year on that.
Well, you're obviously doing something right. You mentioned all year. Give the people an idea of how much work goes into it, how much training, how much rehearsal, how much practice.
It's, you know, for dance, it's a year-round thing. You know, we're not a seasonal sport, so we start in June putting these routines together, and it literally takes us until March to get it together. We try to perform as much as we can in our community. We've traveled outside of our town to perform, and just because I feel like the more I put them out there, the better we get. We watch a lot of film, try to fix things that we goofed up the day before, and just continue to get better.
You've had success year after year at state here in New Mexico, as I'd mentioned. Is there pressure each year to do it again and do it again and do it again?
Definitely. For so many years when I was coming in third place, second place, I mean, it was awesome because I think our first year at state, we got third place, which is an amazing accomplishment. And, you know, but it's not enough. And then when we finally got first, it was a scary place to be. I didn't know it would feel, you know, it was awesome, but it was also more pressure. I think it's more pressure to be on top because how do you stay there? You got to continue to come up with better things and continue to, you know, and everybody's coming after you. I feel like you walk around with a target on you, you know, so it's a tough spot to be.
As we prepare for state, what's the theme for this year? Give us a little sneak peek.
Yeah, our palm dance is all about dance. Every song, it's a lot of old school songs from probably the 70s and 80s, but it's all about dance. And the final song on our routine is Dancing Queen, which is a favorite of ours. So that's our
It's a favorite of mine, too.
Yes, it's a good one.
What's your message to the team right before they go out and perform?
Just do what we've done every day. Don't overthink your routine. Just go out there, and it should be muscle memory, you know, but try to have energy and be better than you were yesterday. And like I said, it's for a lot of teams, they do state championship and then go to nationals. It's kind of hard. We come off a national championship, and we've got to find it somewhere in our body to continue so that we'll do really well at state.
So lastly, what is the focus then this week as you head into the state competition?
We're still fixing things. I mean, we won nationals, but we can still look at film and say, okay, we could have done this better. And, you know, we're just working on all the things that the judges gave us over there to work on. And we'll just continue to get better because we don't downplay anything in our state. Our state is awesome, and we just want to continue to do well.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations, lady. And good luck at state.
Thank
We'll be
you.
back with more Game Time after this. Are you living the life of an athlete? The New Mexico Activities Association brings you Life of an Athlete, a resource for students, educators, and parents to understand the challenges students face. Athletes, one night of drinking will negatively affect your athletic performance for 2 weeks, and athletes who drink or do drugs are twice as likely to get injured. Alcohol's effects can reduce a high school athlete's potential by as much as 20 to 30%. Are you living the life of an athlete? Log on to the website to find out today.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Hi, I'm Delaney Denayo from Roswell High School's Charlie's Angels, and welcome back to Game Time.
Welcome back to Game Time, presented this week by Nusenda Credit Union. Once again, the state spirit competition will take place this weekend at the pit, with the dance competition on Friday and cheer taking place on Saturday. Last week at the pit, 10 different basketball teams capped off the season with a state championship. Here's a look back at the title games. Let's start in girls class 1A. Tohajli was making their first ever appearance in a state final, taking on Roy Mascaro. It was about as close as you can get. Tana Crisp led the way with a game-high 21 points as Big Blue won the Blue Trophy 62-61. It's the second title in 3 seasons for the group from Roy Mascaro.
It was just a battle, you know. We were fortunate to get that last tip or whatever happened, and it could have went either way, and it went our way. So, you know, all year long our defense has kind of led us. We've kind of turned defense to offense, and I think our defense was fairly good tonight again. And it kind of made up for some of these turnovers down the stretch, so our defense has paid off for us most often.
The girls' Class 2A title came down to number 7 seed Texaco and number 1 Escalante. The Lady Wolverines controlled most of the game and won their 11th state title with a 44-30 victory over the top seed.
You know, these girls bought in from day one, and at times, whenever our record was a little bit shaky, I think that it was questionable. But they stayed on board. They bought into what we taught and what we believed. And in the end, they battled together. Caitlin saw a box and won tonight, and it kind of frustrated her at times. But we had other people that really stepped up. And I told them at halftime, we had 3 assists at halftime. And I said, we're not sharing the ball at all. We're not playing how we played for us to get here. And I thought in the third quarter, they really came out and changed that. And I was really proud of their effort. It's a great feeling. I told the kids coming in, I said, 7's just a number, but at the same time, we wanted to use it as motivation, so we said, let's go get the number 1.
3A was a matchup between Tohatchee and Santa Fe Indian School. Tohatchee took control of this one in the first quarter and never let up on their way to a 46-24 win. It was their first state title since 2017.
I'm very proud of these ladies. This is very emotional. We've gone through so much this season, and this opportunity presents itself for them. They're very hardworking young ladies, and I can't say how proud I am of them and so grateful that they're able to take us on this journey. If it's not for them, we're not here, so I'm just full of emotions right now.
The 4A title game was a powerhouse matchup in front of a packed pit. Number 1 defending state champ Kirtland Central against number 2 Gallup. This was the 5th meeting between these two this year. The Bengals beat the Broncos 57-47. It's the 7th state title for Gallup and 2nd in the last 3 seasons.
The kids played really well. You know, we came out in the second quarter, and, you know, I think the first quarter we had some jitters and whatnot, but we came out in the second quarter and played lights out and kind of built the lead and was able to maintain that lead throughout the rest of the game. And these kids, they're unbelievable.
In 5A, Hobbs and Volcano Vista met in the final for the 4th straight year. The Eagles led this one from start to finish, beating the 2-time defending state champs 52-47. Hobbs had 4 players in double figures. For Hobbs, it was their 6th straight appearance in the final and 3rd title over that span.
I'll be honest with you, we're an experienced team. We're young, but we've been here 6 times in a row. So a lot of these girls have been here 3 times. And so we held our composure, and we talked about that. We talked about it in the Sandia game when it was tied going into the 4th. We're going to win this, right? We're experienced. We're going to handle this. And we did that.
On the boys' side in Class 1A, it was unbeaten #1 defending state champ Magdalena taking on Fort Sumner House. Magdalena was riding a 46-game win streak, but the Foxes put an end to it with a couple free throws in the closing seconds to win it 45-43. It's their first state title since 2018.
Like I say, the community expects it around there. These kids since, well, I think 5 years ago when we were last up on this podium, they were little, they were young. They've been playing ball since they were babies, and this has been their goal since they were brought up. I'm proud as ever to be their coach. I love them all.
In Class 2A, Academy for Technology and the Classics reached the final in just their first state tournament appearance. They met up with powerhouse Pecos. The Panthers erased a double-digit deficit and won their 5th title in 7 years with a 52-49 victory.
It feels great. It feels great. Finally, we waited a long time. Last year was a tough one. We've been saying that. These guys, like our coaches had mentioned, 365 days we've been waiting for this opportunity. And, it was tough. Halftime, these guys came out. They looked at each other, looked at themselves in the mirror. I'm having a hard time talking, guys, because I'm excited. And they pulled together, and we got a good win.
The Class 3A final was a matchup of last year's title tilt, St. Michael's and Robertson. The Horsemen got their revenge behind Adam Montoya's 20 points, 15 of those in the final quarter. 66-49 was the final. It's the first state title for St. Michael's since 2012.
Number 4, number 22. 4 is because when I took this job, nobody said we can beat Robertson once. We did it once. We did it twice. We did it 3 times. We did it 4 times! Yeah! We felt disrespected all year because we felt that this group of guys cannot do it. But I have 12, 14, whatever numbers I have each and every game, I can put them in. And I believe not only with the starting 5, I have the second unit can start on any team in the state. Any team.
The Class 4A final had top seed Albuquerque Academy going up against Hope Christian. The Chargers dominated this one, 70-39. Joe Jack led the way with 27 points. It's Academy's 9th state championship overall and first since 1994.
I was telling folks downstairs that I stared at that wall last night. 94 was the last time we put something up. We had a little pregame before we came to the pit, had them stare at the wall. And I told them, we want a 2023 up there. And we got it!
The 5A final was a family affair with brother against brother. Greg Brown and Volcano Vista against Danny Brown and the Sandia Matadors, 1 versus 2. This was a low-scoring affair as the Hawks held on to win back-to-back state titles, 43-31. It's the 4th state title for head coach Greg Brown.
It was bittersweet, but the sweet is for these guys because these guys deserved it. And there's a lot of purple for Papa, but there's a lot of stuff for them as well. And they have their own Papas in their life that they played for. And I said, make sure you're doing that as well. This isn't just for our family. This is for you and your family as well. And I'm just proud of them. There's an awesome group.
Before we close the book on another state basketball tournament, here's a sample of some of the top buzzer beaters of the tournament. Not all of them were game winners, but here's a look at some players in a game of beat the clock.
And they still got the ball. They got it back for the win.
Oh! She hits it! Man, Tyler Gibson hits it. They go up. Capitan gets the victory.
Well, not if they miss the pass. Shot up to beat the buzzer. He's got it!
Lucas Gurale!
With less than 10 seconds to go, I think the Bears will likely have the last chance.
They got to attack right now. They got to do something or they're not going to get it shot off.
Dyer drains it to beat the buzzer. It's only worth 2, but they're excited as can be.
Layup's no good, and the rebound pulled down by the Tigers. See if they can get one off. Off balance three. Yes! Count it! The bank's open late in Taos. Mateo Salazar makes a late night deposit for three.
Gonzalez across half court. He's on a full head of steam. He's going to the basket. Pump fake. Montoya with it. Gets the shot up. And it goes! At the buzzer. We'll see.
8 seconds to go. It's Adams. Still Adams. Adams licks it out. Moyer inside the arc. Dalen Moyer sends his Matadors.
Congratulations once again to all the winners and participants at this year's state championships. Don't forget, the state spirit competition will take place this weekend, Friday and Saturday at the Pit. That's going to do it for another edition of Game Time, presented this week by Newsenda Credit Union. Make sure you tune in every week. We still got the spring sports season to go. You know the place to find the most highlights is right here. We'll see you next time on Game Time.